I'm Kealy and this is Voice of a Creative, and today I'm here to do a pattern review of the Heidi dress from Wearable Pattern. Now this is a new pattern that's just come out and it is a free pattern, so it's definitely worth giving it a go if you're looking for a really cute summer dress. Now I was part of the pattern test for the Canary Cami by Wearable Patterns, and so I applied to do this one, the Heidi dress, and I got in and did the pattern test for it. I was definitely interested in this kind of dress because it's not necessarily a pattern I would buy because I don't have a chance to wear many strappy summer dresses with the weather in England, but I thought actually it's a really nice look and could be hacked into like a vest top and stuff, so I thought it would be a really lovely one to try. So this is what it looks like. So really cute watercolour with the line drawing on the instruction booklet. So it's basically got straps and bust darts and then pleats in the back which attach ties and then come round and you tie the bow in the front. So there is just one view of this pattern. You kind of make the dress. I suppose you could lengthen it if you wanted to or add other details, but I just went for the standard view. And I made a size 12 and then graded out for a 14 for my hips, which was a good move to make, and the final dress fits me quite well. What I would say is these patterns are graded for a C cup, so actually it's usually unnecessary to do a full bust adjustment, and certainly the Canary Cami and this one I had plenty of room for my chest, which I was really pleased about. So I decided to make it in this viscose fabric, which is navy blue, with this cute floral design, and this was from John Lewis. It was part of the viscose fabrics that I bought a couple of months ago to make a few things, and actually this fabric worked out really well. One thing I would say is that this must have some polyester in it in some way because the iron didn't like it very much, so that was a bit difficult when I was kind of ironing it in and things like that, but I think any other viscose fabric would be good. So the pattern calls for medium weight woven fabrics such as linen, cotton, rayon, tencel, cupro and needle cord. So any lightweight fabric. Now I chose not to make it out of cotton, but actually the design would fall quite nicely according to kind of your shape. I think it would work really well in that, and I've definitely seen some really lovely cotton versions, and I would be interested to explore that as well because I do have some Japanese cottons in my stash that might work quite well for that. You also need interfacing for this, just to interface the straps and ties as well as the facings, and that's really important to do that just so you have that structure in the areas that you need. So overall this was fairly quick to make, and it's definitely something that you could consider doing French seams on if you wanted to. I chose to just overlock the edges because now I've got my own overlocker that's much easier, and that worked out really well, and it's nice and neat on the inside. So method wise it's fairly easy to put together. You sew in the darts and then sew in the pleats at the back, and then you sew the whole thing together, and then attaching the facing, and then finally the straps, and the instructions for that are really clear. I was a little confused during the pattern test, but those few adjustments have been made to the final pattern and the final instructions, so actually now it should be a breeze for you to go through. And I would say that this is probably for a more advanced beginner. Actually, it's fairly easy to do, but there might be a few things that you might struggle with just a little bit, but actually it'll be a nice one for you to go for, especially because it's free as well. So as I said, the instructions are really clear. They are illustrated throughout as well, so you can see the illustrations are really clear, which I really like about patterns as well, to have clear illustrations or photos. And all in all, it was a fairly quick make. I think it took me just a couple of hours, and that was doing the pattern test, so about 3 hours, but I feel like if you were to make it kind of a couple of times, actually you could get it down to just an hour, hour and a half. It's the ironing on the interfacing that took me a little bit more time because I just had a little bit of a struggle with that with the fabric. So just pick your fabric carefully because you do have to iron on the interfacing. So this is the dress, and I will try it on in just a second to show you, and then I'll insert some pictures. And adjustments wise, I did make a couple of adjustments. So one of the main adjustments I made was to grade out to a 14 at the hips, And when I did that, I realised that the length of the waist was much too long for me, so I have quite a short waist. So I actually took up the pattern piece for the waist by 2 inches to just move that dip in the pattern up a bit, which I'm really pleased I did, because this has waist ties, and so obviously you want that to fit on your waist, and if it didn't, you'd probably have it coming around your hips and that would be a bit funny. So definitely check that if you are shorter waisted. So I would say like Tilly and the Buttons patterns fit me lengthwise really well for the waist, and so it might be that you have to make that adjustment, but you can just hold the pattern piece up to yourself and easily identify whether you need to do that before you start sewing, so that's really easy. I did have to shorten the straps just a little bit, but this was only kind of 1.5 centimeters, not a great deal. And if I was to make another one, I would adjust the back of the bodice potentially, because the straps don't quite cover my bra straps at the back, but then I'm wondering whether I even care about that at all. So the top is finished with a facing as well, which is interfaced, and then the straps just slip in between the facing and the bodice. And then at the back, the waist ties are secured in 2 pleats that just give it a little bit of shape at the back there. And actually this is a technique that I'm going to try and adapt for other dresses, because it looks so cute and it's so easy to just have the ties to wrap round and they're already attached to you. It was a good length on me. Obviously I brought it up a little bit and I just finished it with overlocking, and then I just stitched round as well. So all in all, just really lovely to make and just a really cute little dress. So I'm just gonna pop it on and I will show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is the dress. So you can see the straps at the front cover my bra strap quite well, so I wouldn't want to move those, and it fits me nicely across the front of the chest. Then at the sides it does come down a little bit lower, but I don't mind that so much. I could adjust the strap just a little bit if I wanted that higher. And then at the back in this bra, it seems to cover it fairly well, and fits well at the back there as well. You've then got the darts at the front. Now these in this fabric seem to be a little bit pointy, and I did try to re-sew them, but this just wasn't a fabric that I could iron that much, so it was quite tricky, but actually I don't think it matters too much. And you can see it fits my chest fairly well here. Then you've got the tie belt, so without it, is a lot looser fit, so you could probably go without it if you wanted to, but I actually really like things that cinch in at the waist. So the ties, they just come from these pleats at the back. They're really easy to sew in, so there's just the pleat there and there. Mine are slightly shorter because of the adjustment I made at the waist, but I could have lengthened them. Then you just bring the ties round and you can tie them at the front, and that just brings it in at the waist, but it's still a loose fitting dress. So actually really like the look of this overall, and I think definitely this will be really cute to wear in the summer or for a summer holiday and things like that. And I think it's definitely a pattern that could be dressed up for day or night as well. So really pleased overall with this one, and I'm definitely considering making another one as well. So I would definitely make this pattern again. I'm considering making like a vest top version with maybe a slightly shorter tie, or just kind of gathers in the back. The way the pleats have been put in the back have really inspired me, and I might be trying that on some jersey dresses as well to just see if that works out. But I really like the fit up here, and I was considering getting the Ogden cami, but I was a bit worried because there's no shaping in that, and with my chest I don't want that kind of whole load of fabric down here. But with this one, because you've got the darts for shaping, I think it fits me quite nicely here, so I'm going to try that next for this one. But definitely go and check out this pattern. It is a free download, be really lovely to wear for the summer. And I am definitely going to be making another one and trying out some different fabrics with it as well. If you do have any questions at all about the pattern, please just comment them below and I will do my best to answer. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please press the thumbs up and subscribe if you want to hear more from me. Goodbye!